what an honor. I've always wondered what this would feel like. So 8 years. Wow, what an honor. I've always wondered what this would feel like.
Wow, what an honor! I always wonder what this would feel like. What this would feel like.
So 8 years ago, I got the worst career advice of my life.
8 years ago, I got the worst career advice. What the worst career advice I got? I got the worst career advice of my life.
I had a friend tell me, Scott, don't worry about how much you like the work you're doing right now. It's all.
My friend told me, don't worry about how much.
Don't worry about how much you like the work you're doing right.
Don't worry about how much you like the work you're doing now. How much you like the work. How much you like the work you're doing now.
Now it's all about just building your resume.
It's all about just building your resume.
And I just come back from living in Spain for a while. I joined this Fortune 500 company. I thought.
I just come back from, and I just come back.
Just come back from living in Spain for a while. I joined this.
I lived in Spain for a while.
This Fortune 500 company. I thought.
I joined this Fortune 500 company. I thought
this is fantastic. I'm gonna have this big impact on the world.
I'm gonna have a big impact. I'm gonna have a big impact on the world.
And all these ideas, and within about 2 months.
And all this.
You're gonna have this big impact on the world, and all these ideas.
I had all these ideas.
And within about 2 months.
Within about 2 months.
I noticed at about 10 a.m. every morning I had this strange urge.
I noticed at about 10 a.m. every morning I had this strange urge. I
want to slam my head through the monitor of my computer.
To want to slam my head through the monitor of my computer. I don't
know if anyone's ever felt that. I'm gonna slam my head through the monitor of my computer. I don't know if anyone's ever felt that. I'm gonna slam my head through the monitor of my computer. I don't know if anyone's ever felt that.
I don't know if anyone ever thought that. I don't know if anyone's ever felt that. I don't know if anyone has felt that.
And I noticed pretty soon after that all the competitors in our space. All the competitors in our space. Had already automated.
Had already automated.
My job role.
And
this is right about when I got this sage advice to build up my resume. My job role. And this is right about when I got this sage advice to build.
This is right about when I got the sage advice.
Build up my resume.
To build up my resume. Sage advice. Sage advice. Well, as I'm trying to figure out what, two-story window I'm going to jump out of and change things up, I read some altogether different advice from Warren Buffett, and he said, taking jobs to build up my resume. My job role. Build up my resume. Well, as I'm trying to figure out. What. As I'm trying to figure out what two-story window I'm going to jump out of. A two-story window I'm going to jump out of.
And change things up. I read some altogether different advice from.
I read some altogether different advice.
From Warren Buffett, and he said.
어이? 잘 잤어? 이렇게 일찍 왔어?
네, 어제처럼.
왜?
Taking jobs to build up your resume is the same as saving up sex for old age.
Taking jobs to build up your resume is the same as saving up sex for old age. Saving up sex for old age.
And I
I heard that, and that was all I needed.
I heard that, and that was all I needed.
Within 2 weeks, I was out of there, and I
Within 2 weeks, I was out of there.
left with one intention, to find something that I could screw up.
With one intention, to find something that I could screw up.
That's how tough it was. I just wanted to have some type of an impact. It didn't
That's how.
matter what it was. That's how tough it was. Within 2 weeks, I was out of there, and I left with one intention, to find something that I could screw up. That's how tough it was.
That's how tough it was.
I just wanted to have some type of an impact. It didn't matter what it was.
I wanted to have some type of. I want to have some type of impact. Doesn't matter what it was.
And I found out pretty quickly after that I wasn't alone.
I found pretty quickly after that, and I found pretty quickly that I wasn't alone. I wasn't alone.
Quickly after that I wasn't alone. It turns out over 80% of the people
It turns out that over 80% of people
around don't enjoy their work.
don't enjoy their work.
I'm guessing this room is different, but
I'm guessing this room is different, but
that's the average that Deloitte has done with their studies. And
that's the average that Deloitte has done with their studies.
so I wanted to find out, what is it that sets these people apart? The people who do the passionate, world-changing work, they wake up inspired every day. And so I wanted to find out, what is it that sets these people apart?
What is that? What is it that sets these people apart? Sets these people apart.
People who do the passionate, world-changing
People who do the passionate,
work, they wake up inspired every day.
that wake up inspired every day.
And then these people, the other 80% who lead these lives of quiet desperation. 80% who lead these lives, 80% who lead these lives do the passionate, world-changing work, they wake up inspired every day. And then these people,
And then there's people,
the other 80% who
the other 80%
lead these lives of quiet desperation.
who lead these lives of quiet desperation, lead these lives of quiet desperation.
So I started to interview all these people
So study interview all these people.
doing this inspiring work, and I read doing this inspiring work, 80% who lead these lives of quiet desperation. So I started to interview all these people doing this inspiring work, and
During this inspired work,
I read books and did case studies and 300 books altogether on purpose and career and all this.
300 books altogether on purpose and career and all this.
And 300 books altogether on purpose and career and all this. Totally just self-immersion.
Totally just self-immersion.
Really for the selfless reason of I wanted to find the work that I couldn't not do.
To the self reason for I want to find the work that I couldn't do.
What that was for me.
What that was for me.
But as I was doing this, more and more people started to ask me,
But as I was doing this, more and more people started to ask me,
Scott, you're into this career thing. I don't
Scott, you're into this career thing.
really like my job. Can we sit down
I don't like my job. Can we sit down for lunch?
for lunch? I'd say,
Sit down for lunch?
sure, but I would have to warn them because
I had to warn them because
at this point my quit rate was also 80%.
my kill rate was also
Sure, but I would have to warn them because at this point my quit rate was also 80%. Of the people I'd sit down with for lunch, 80% would quit their job within 2 months. Sure, but I would have to warn them because at this point my quit rate was also 80%. Of the people I'd sit down with for lunch,
of the people I sit down with the people I sit down with for lunch,
80% would quit their job
80% will quit their job
within 2 months.
within 2 months.
And this is something I was proud of this. And it wasn't that I had anything special magic. It was that I would ask one simple question. It was, why are you doing the work that you're doing? Of the people I'd sit down with for lunch, 80% would quit their job within 2 months. And this is something I was proud of this. And
I was proud of this.
it wasn't that I had anything
It wasn't that I had
special magic. It was that I would ask one simple question.
ask one simple question.
It was, why are you doing the work that you're doing?
Why are you doing the work you're doing?
And so often, their answer would be, well,
So often the answer will be well,
because somebody told me I'm supposed to.
because somebody told me I'm supposed to.
And I realized that so many people around us are climbing their way up this ladder.
I realized that so many people around us are climbing their way up this ladder
That someone tells them to climb.
that someone tells him to
and
climb,
ends up being leaned up against the wrong wall,
and he ends up being leaned up against the wrong wall,
or no wall at all.
no wall at all.
And so the more time I spent around these people and saw this problem, I thought, what if we could create a community, a place where people could feel like they belonged, and that it was okay to do things differently, to take the road less traveled. Where it ends up being are climbing their way up this ladder that someone tells them to climb, and ends up being leaned up against the wrong wall, or no wall at all. And so the more time I spent around these people and saw
The more time I spent around these people and saw
this problem,
this problem,
what if we could create a community,
what if we could create a community,
a place where people could feel like they belong,
a place they could feel like they belong,
and that it was okay to do things differently, to take
and it was okay to do things differently.
the road less traveled,
Take the road less traveled,
where that was encouraged,
where there was encouraged
and inspire people to change.
and inspire people to change.
And that later became what I now call Live Your Legend, which I'll explain in a little bit. But as we've done this, as I've made these discoveries, I noticed a framework of really three simple things that all these different passionate world changers have in common. Whether you're, like a Steve Jobs, or if you're just, the person who has the bakery down the street, but you're doing work that embodies who you are. I want to share those three with you so we can use them as a lens for the rest of today and hopefully the rest of our life. The first part of, sure, but career doing this inspiring work, and I mean this 80% do and don't enjoy their work. Don't quit. Within 2 weeks, I was out of there, and I left with one intention: to find something that I could screw up. That's how tough it was to do the passionate, world-changing work. They wipe the 80%, sure, but I would have to. This ends up being leaned up against so they feel like they belong. Travel, where that was encouraged and inspired people to change. And that later became what I now call Live Your Legend. And that later became what I now call Live Your Legend.
That later became what I now call Live Your Legend.
Which I'll explain in a little bit.
I'll explain a little bit.
But as we've done this, as I've made these discoveries,
I've made these discoveries,
I noticed a framework of really three simple things.
I noticed the
As we've
framework.
done this, as I've made these discoveries, I noticed a framework of really three simple things
I've noticed a framework of really simple three things.
that all these different passionate world changers have in common. Whether
All these different passion world changers have in common.
you're, like a Steve Jobs, or you're just, the person who has the bakery down the street, but
Whether you're Steve Jobs or the person who has the bakery down the street.
you're doing work that embodies who you are.
You're doing work that embodies who you are. You're doing work that embodies who you are.
I want to share those three with you so we can use them as
I want to share this with you so we can use them
a
as a
lens for the rest of today and hopefully the rest of our life.
for the rest of the today and hopefully for the rest of our life.
The first part of this three-step passionate work framework is the first part of this three-step passionate work framework.
The first part of this three-step passionate work framework
Is becoming a self-expert and
becoming a self-expert,
understanding yourself.
understand yourself.
Because if you don't know what you're looking for,
If you don't know what you're looking for,
you're never going to find it.
you're never going to find it.
And the thing is that no one's going to do this for us.
And no one's going to do this for us.
There's no major in university on passion and purpose and career.
There's no major university on passion and
There's no major in university on passion and purpose and career.
passion and purpose and career.
I don't know how that's not a required double major, but don't even get me started on that. I mean, you spend more time picking out a dorm room TV set than you do, picking your major and your area of study. But the point is, it's on us to figure that out. And we need a framework. We need a way to navigate through this. And so the first step of our compass is finding what our unique strengths are. What are the things that we wake up loving to do no matter what, whether we're paid or not paid, the things that people thank us for. And StrengthsFinder 2.0 is a book people navigate. I don't know how. There's no, you're never going to find it. And the thing is that no one's going to do this for us. I don't know, we study to navigate through this. And so the first step of our compass is finding what our unique strengths are. What are the things that we wake up loving to do no matter what, whether we're paid or not paid, the things that people thank us for. And StrengthsFinder 2.0 is a book and also an online tool, highly recommended for sorting out what it is that you're naturally good at. And then next, what's our what's our framework or our hierarchy for making decisions? Is it the people that, or do we care about, the people, our family, health, or is it achievement, success, all this different stuff? We have to figure out what it is to make these decisions so we know what our soul is made of, so that we don't go selling it to some cause we don't give it about. And then the next step is our experiences. All of us have these experiences. We learn things every day, every minute about what we love, what we hate, what we're good at, what we're terrible at. And if we don't spend time paying attention to that and assimilating that learning and applying it to the rest of our life, it's all for nothing. It's like every week, actually every day,